There we go. All right, let me hit the got it.
Got it.
Alrighty, Miggy brothers and sisters, Islam, peace and
Miggy,
love
brother.
to you. I am Brother Sean Mail, and you already know that all is well. And bro, can you help me out, bro? Can you help me out, bro? What man? What was that appellation, bro? Help me out here. Braveheart. And we like to welcome you all here to another Intuition Monday with Seven Hillstar. And I'm here with my bros, and they are.
Alrighty, y'all. Now let me plug this cord in here. Hold on, I want to get the speakers here. You're on the loudspeaker, bro. Let me hook it up. Namaste. Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at northwest of Mexham. How are you? And chilling in the green room. If he wants to let it be known, he's chilling in the green room.
Namaste, Islam to all. Peace and love.
Exalted Cyclops!
All right. So this is great. And I know the Intuition Monday, we got certain beings, there's certain offices. So on purpose now on Mondays and Wednesdays, we're going to make sure those of you that are part of our email list, since you haven't unsubscribed yet, but yet you're working for different companies that are there that you think you can sit there and railroad people that may not know your statutes, codes, and policies. Trust and believe, we can watch you every time you open the email, every time you interact, every time you forward the email to somebody. We are like, that song, every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. You know what I mean?
We'll be watching.
Yeah, that's just really what it is. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard when you're not around. You know what I'm saying? But we can still watch your ass. That's how that lyric go for me right now. But anyway, and what you guys are going to realize is, a lot of you, no matter what attorneys or what you think you'll be able to combat, we're not playing. We're making sure people know how to sue you. All righty. So you can't hide, bet not run, and 9 times out of 10 is going to get to a point where the military police are going to be pulling you people. So when you get this email on Thursday and you hear this portion of it, and I'm going to mention something on Wednesday too. Why? Because we can see you guys in these administrative offices watching these things. Because you guys already know that, when we send emails to these beings, sometimes we'll send regular email, but now it's like, just send from Seven Hillstar so that we can monitor how many times they're opening it, even though you can do your own mail tracking and things of that nature. But we also watch you beings, near different state of corporations. You're still not, you haven't unsubscribed because you're probably talking to your worshipful masters at your lodges and things like that. And just let, I'm pretty sure your worshipful master will let you know that we're the brothers that you need to learn from so that you can be a much better being on this planet, or the way things move, since we're sincere and we know we're home. We're Moroccans. We know this has been the Moorish Empire. You guys could have never changed it, no matter how, unlawful and criminal you get with your administrative practices. It's going to come a time where you're going to start your land conveyance and you're going to get rolling and your brakes aren't going to work. Why? Because you shouldn't have been talking shit. I'm just going to keep it a band. You shouldn't have been thinking you could get away with administrative practices to feed your family by simulating legal process. So how are you doing, those of you that are part of different municipal or county and city, agencies or state agencies? How are you? Pretty sure if you go back and look at any of our videos that aren't particularly astrology, like on Mondays and Wednesdays, and look at what we do on Fridays and Sundays, you will see respectfully saying, we're not fucking playing with you and we're not fucking around. You can take that as offensive as you want. However, at the end of the day, we are going to make sure that you're going to be swiping your card. You can't do anything for your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or your mistress, or your boo thing on the side. So it's time for you guys to really get your stuff in order. This is notice. And you've been put on notice, actually. So this is just letting you know that you've been put on notice. Anything else, and you're not correcting yourselves or correcting your colleagues, 18 United States Code 4, misprision of felony. You're supposed to be ratting on each other, telling on each other. Okay? So don't let me hear about people utilizing, so-called citations, right? Complaints and summonses on the side of the road for somebody moving at a certain rate, and you don't have them indicted by a grand jury, because that's the only way you can have probable cause. We will contact your risk management. We will find out who you are. You think you ain't got to tell us. We'll find out. Just check our videos out. We're not fucking around. We're not playing. So be good. Okay, Mar? And the rest of you are Mar. I know, right? You didn't think we saw that shit. Mar. We see you guys. Chad. We see you. Okay? We see you. So start getting your behavior together. Because we will make sure that we're even putting in the proper grievances to whatever attorney you think you are. We will make sure that disciplinary, judicial discipline is going to go in for you too, that need correct disciplinary action for you, so-called administrative, well, so-called judges, but you're just administrative officers, which still means attorney. You're just an attorney. All right, so the jig is up. All right, it's actually been up. However, we're just going to speak directly to you because you haven't unsubscribed. And then if you unsubscribe after this, we're going to talk about you once you unsubscribe. All right, it's catch-22 for you. So it's just best for you to just get your behavior together. All righty, because we're not playing. We have no problem making sure whatever jurisdiction you're near, you're getting sued respectfully. Right? Because if you're not getting sued and then people want to act funny and making sure there's no redress or grievance for those, that aren't supposed to be adjudicated upon under your administrative code, the only thing to do is get the military police involved and have you pick your favorite colored noose to get hung in. I know, you just thought you were working for the DMV, or you just thought you was working for some, motor vehicle or some human resource for the state of insert state name here. However, no, I think if you want to just get a so-called paycheck, but act like, oh, I didn't know this, I was operating in good faith. That's fine. We can write on your noose, he thought he was operating in good faith, and then you just get hung accordingly. That's not a threat. That's not being mean or evil. That's the law, because it's treason what you're doing. Now you can think, well, where everybody's practicing it this way, so since it's the widespread practice, it's okay. No, that means it needs to be some widespread hangings then, right? Who's up for a widespread? Who's up for some widespread hanging? I am. Oh, pick me. Me. The highest, strongest limb. Right? You like to shit and piss on yourself? Like, that's what's going to happen. Respectfully. All right. So, welcome to our Intuition Monday for Sagittarian full moon, right? This is great because we're really doing the principles and being the principles. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, right? Matthew 18, right? Matthew chapter 18, verses 15 through 20. Gave you notice in private. And then we did the other two things. So this is it. Do we mark you as a publican now? Are you a heathen man, a publican? Okay, no problem. What's your favorite color? Because at least we'll give you that choice. So we know which color noose to hang you in. All right, you can go run, tell your worshipful master or whatever lodge you're a part of. They know the rules. You can go and run and speak to your imperial wizard, your exalted cyclops, speak to your clerigo, whomever, part of whatever realm for clan, but never forget that your cloran is just our Koran with an L in it. You're welcome, sons. You wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have this or anything if it wasn't for us. And then if you really are working that cloran, you really are KKK, then you should be doing nothing but having I and my brothers back. Because then if you act like you don't know better, let's see, do you want to be burned on a cross? And I know what burning the crosses is for. I know it's not the bad connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? I know what it actually meant. I read your Cloran. We read it. We did a presentation on it. 4 videos, 4 Fridays in a row. We went in on the Cloran for the Ku Klux Klan. We did it. You know what time it is. So do we hold you to that too? You're supposed to be about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice also. In so many words, that's what you're supposed to be about. So no matter where you are, north or south, the jig is up. And the people are no longer going for this. So it doesn't matter. You can't stop the study. It's happening already. It's perpetual. It's going to be babies coming in this thing, eyes wide open, ready to sue you at 7, if not 13 years old. I speaketh or talketh not shit. I'm telling you. All right. So I trust you guys get your shit together. Take me for a joke, laugh. Hey, Chad, pass me the Coke. And you guys go and sniff your lines of Coke and drink coffee. Drink your Budweisers and smoke your Marlboros. Cool, go right ahead. I'm telling you, when that day comes, you're gonna be like, fuck. That Moor, why you think we ain't playing? That's why the bros come on, we be like, Miggy, brother. We not playing. No matter how rough, tough, none of that matters. You have rules to follow. You don't follow your own rules, then we need to be speaking to your heads of your organizations so you can get disciplined. So when it comes to 7 Hill Star, guess who you can talk to discipline us? Nobody. Because we're honest, so we need not to take any oaths. But since we're honest and not taking any, since we're honest and we didn't have to take any oaths, we're always in honor. And we're not doing anything outside of any, proper actions. We're not, we're outside of proper action. We need to be reprimanded. Nobody, Moor Science, Temple of America, comma, INC, period. That's not leadership. That's just some Masons who are faking like they're not Masons, who took an oath to try to hold back what we're saying to the people, making sure they have the more science. So you Albion sons and daughters in the South and North, you already know Prophet Noble Jolly is a universal prophet. Playtime is over. It's been over for over 100 years. Now this is the time where your great and awful day is here. And we're going to hold you to your obligation. And with that, I invoke and call upon tremendously that the sound of these words and whoever comes within the earshot of the sound of my voice, they are able to activate enforcing the law that Prophet Noble Drew Ali expressed to help him in his mission to bring his people back into the constitutional fold of government. So mote it be. Islam? All righty, brother. It's on you. I yield the floor, broski doski.
All right, about to get this thing going. You already know.
I'll edit on post, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna edit right now, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll share this out later. So let's just get this knocked out, bro. Let's do our thing.
Yep. For a forewarning for everyone, make sure you got your tires aired from June 1st to June 7th. Make sure that everything is taken care of. But for those who are in positions and not doing what they supposed to do, don't do nothing. All right, so let me.
Hold on, bro. Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, you good? All right, let me go ahead and screen share. All right, come right there. All right, so we are. Let me actually get that out of my way. Here we go. Right. Starting out with this full moon in the Gemini zone, right? Mm-hmm. And we are traveling near Alofi Islands territory, Wallis and Futuna Republic, right? We have this full moon, right? We got Luna in the 1st house, and we have Sol in the 7th. So we know that full moons are all about releasing. So when it comes to the self-identity, maybe romance and emotions, what is one feeling? right? With Luna in that first, you can really take some philosophy. You know, what do you feel about love? What do you think love is in your terms, right? Not what someone else taught you, you know. So coming to figure it out, and with the sun being in Gemini and the seventh, right? This is all about communication here. So really getting into the midst of what is it about romance and emotions that need to be let go of? What is it about communications and also one's perception of law and religion, right? So getting into the Constitution and the holy books and letting go of the dogmatic beliefs. And there also could be some things between one's paternal grandmother and maybe some the children of their siblings here, you know, able to bond a relationship or able to take them on a short travel somewhere to learn about something that's foreign to them, but is very educational, that it can assist them in their future as they, you know, grow older and become more wiser. And we got Scorpio on the rise there. We look for Mars. Mars is in the 10th house, right? And the 10th house of careers. So this is not being afraid of shining one's own light when it comes to some long-term goals, or just expressing the light to authority that's been in the darkness, because the priesthood been dead. So now with this full moon, y'all can really take the information, look at it the dual nature way. Lunar Sagittarius is nurturing oneself with the proper higher learning, and let Mars and Leo, let your heart be the guide to your actions and your drive. And, you know, like I said, letting that light shine and expelling all darkness with those that are in authority and those that are in law and religion. Because we're telling you, and we've told you before, and it's been told many times long ago in the past. But folks, you know, just don't seem to really get it here. So take that energy of fear and worry and turn that into a strong drive to do what is right. And if you don't know what's right, study. And if you don't want to study, then you'll just be another casualty with those that are not doing as they should. And with that, I'll yield the floor. All right, moving on next into, pardon me, the Taurus zone. All right, so we are now here near Calagomin, New Caledonia. All right, we know Luna's in the 2nd house, Sol's in the 8th house now. All right, so there could be some fertility here, right? Letting go of some issues. Maybe someone's looking to is looking to bring children to this world, right? Maybe going through some fertility issues, so maybe getting some healing done, or going to one's doctor. And, you know, really getting into the root or the foundation of what's causing, you know, the fertility issues. Also, here is opportunity to, you know, break the differences apart when it comes to the social activity and ethics, right? Maybe one's carrying their priorities to fit their actions and their thinking, right? Making sure that everything is balanced, everything is copacetic, as some would say. And also, there's opportunity for some inheritance here, but maybe one's daily habits, daily routines is blocking them from really seeing the fullness or the richness pertaining to one's inheritance. And there's also some things here to where, you know, those that have children, right, can focus on their children careers and also really bring a sense of healing to their mates, right? Boosting up their self-esteem, their self-confidence, and their self-worth here. You know, doing those communications or those short travels, or really just getting into the mindset of what their partner is, and, you know, just really healing any past dealings that, you know, served for a purpose but brought pain. But now you can really move from that pain and, you know, just not using pain as a band-aid or as an excuse to hold on to something or continue to do things that don't serve you. Venus's chart ruler, Nats. Venus, look now, is in the 10th as well, in a separating conjunction with Lilith. So there's a fascination I hear about the home, or maybe one's relationship with one's mother or father here, but you're really able to, like I said, get into the root and the foundation of it and really see the beauty that comes from embracing one's darker nature, but not letting lower self rule, right? Embracing to the higher self. And let's see, what's Taurus? Taurus are the eighth too. So yeah, there's some hidden nature here that one can really be open to if one's really open to listen. And if one doesn't listen, then those things that are trying to be communicated through your intuition will come outside of you. And with that, I will yield the floor. All right, moving back into the Aries zone. All right, now we are near Adelaide, Australia. Going down June 4th, would you looky at 1:11:44 post meridian. So some beings could be seeing 1:11 a lot or 1:44. All right. Let's see, third house. Yep. So Luna's here in the third, Sun's in the ninth, and the compound house, as some would say, the quote unquote God house. Right. With that here, so yeah, we could see a rise in creativity here with the mothers. Maybe the mothers here are going to have some like travel groups, right? Maybe you see mothers coming in their local community, coming to have like a study group or a travel group, or maybe a group of mothers are going to take some long distance travel trip here, maybe for their job. Getting an opportunity to go do some speaking or like publishing, right? Some publishing deals or just networking opportunities. Luna's rolling over that 11th house as I look, right, from the third. So yeah, just putting things out via the internet, right? It's also a time to let go or make past of any early education in some sorts, right? Really just learning. Oh, wow, I'm saying that. That aspect's beautiful. Yeah, it's like learning from one's early education. It's like maybe even healing some past inner child pain, or it's like some things that you might have learned while they were young, and it's kind of stuck around up until the adult age. You're really able to let go of that. Like I said, Mercury and Jupiter are ruling over this full moon. Let's see, Jupiter is right there in Taurus in the 7th house, barely in there, right? Mercury should be still in Taurus as well, right there, 19 degrees. And this is out of its post retrograde shadow as well. So this is a lot of healing energy, a lot of communication, a lot of value coming in, especially if he has been doing the work as we've been, saying. And also would have might have been apparent to one to really put in that necessary work and communication for the foundation. With that, maybe even getting that inheritance or just moving away from the things that makes one comfortable. Because as we did yesterday, I remember we went over like faith without works is dead. So that's really kind of like the energy of this here. Moving past the beliefs that one has had and been stuck in and operating in faith and able to watch the fruition roll in. But, being able to visualize the things that one see for themselves, but also putting in the necessary steps and actions. And with that, I will yield the floor. And yeah, do some healing work, maybe with someone's friend's children or one's sister and brother-in-law here. Maybe in an expansion of some sort, or kind of like a short trip, or however that sounds. And with that, I will yield the floor to the living master as he goes in on the Pisces zone.
Islam, bro. I guess I'm taking it that I'm looking at what, the 4th house here, man. I guess I was still able to edit on the fly here, which is very interesting, right? However, I put that there. All right. So Pisces zone, right? And the new moon is taking place in the 4th house, guys. And this is happening 4th June 2023. That's a Sunday, right? This is about 4 days after Mercury goes past its retrograde shadow portion or point, right? As it's called, the retrograde shadow, right? The area in between which Mercury was retrograde was, it started slowing down about 5 degrees, 50 minutes Taurus. Did a station retrograde at about 15 degrees, 37 minutes in Taurus. Went station direct at 5 degrees, 50 minutes Taurus. and it was past it once it reached 15 degrees 38 minutes on the 31st May. All right. However, shout out to Mother Rashida Bay. You know, she's like, you know, for good measure, let's just say June 1st. So here, just about, you know, 4 days passed, before 3.5 days, past the retrograde shadow for Mercury, right, which is now at 19 degrees Taurus. Brother Sean is very accurate too, guys. Make sure your tires are good, right? Make sure you have the proper weights and balances on your tires. Make sure the air is there properly. Make sure you have no slow leaks, because, you know, this is pertaining to like where the sun is, like Brother Sean was stating, is dealing with accidents to wheeled vehicles is what it says in our particular encyclopedia. However, to wheeled, you know, let's say automobiles, right? Let's say it like that. So with that being said, 13 degrees Sagittarius is make sure it was dealing with air pressure. I think you were saying, Brother Sean, from that. So that's why we're looking at it like, what if somebody deals with some type of like minor accident? You know, we're not doom and gloom astrologers at all. So maybe you could just probably come across a little burden due to your tires. So just be wise, as Brother Sean said, to make sure between the 1st and the 7th, right? Pertaining to June, make sure, you know, maybe you can take action now and making sure you have the proper balancing of your tires, make sure the proper air pressure is there, make sure it's nothing puncturing the tires or things of that nature, right? If you go to get some used tires, make sure, you know, you're not getting something where, you know, you wear down the treads on the tires in like a couple of days or whatever, and then due to the tires or whatever not being of good quality, let's say it rains, and now you're hydroplaning. So that's just what we're keeping in mind there overall. The sun in the 10th house, while Luna is in the 4th, Luna's having its accidental dignity. However, Luna is 6th from the sign where it's home. So we can really speak to, you know, really focusing on some higher health learning here. You know, some higher learning pertaining to health. And with the sun in the 10th house, literally, to be honest with you, 11 houses away from where it actually feels most comfortable in Leo. So it is ruling the ascendant now at about 17 degrees, right? Just coming off about, you know, 16 minutes from being at the same degree as the sun, but just, you know, sextile. So coming off the sextile, the ascendant, what we can really see is we're getting past the portion where we really had the opportunity to be very creative, alrighty, in making sure that, you know, we are really allowing ourselves to have a regal mindset pertaining to ourselves and really doing what's best for us instead of listening to others, making sure that we're doing a service to ourselves instead of a disservice to ourselves, so that we can be able to bring, you know, full reflected light pertaining to our status and how we are at home, really allowing ourselves to be very chaste in how we are making sure we're dealing with, you know, being very accurate in a bullseye kind of fashion, not crying too much or complaining too much, right? When it comes to communicating with our immediate loved one or beloved mother, mistress, consort, or beloved son, master, consort. All righty. And what you can also do there is make sure you're just really getting over, you know, deputizing in a negative fashion, the different, you know, the different actions that need to take place within the home. Make sure you're being fair in that and be creative with that fairness so that you can really allow yourself to give rise to an active, loving relationship. And this is for near Ipoh, Malaysia. And with that, I yield the floor. We're going to move on to now the moon is going to be in the 5th house and the sun's going to be in the 11th. That's funny. So before that, Brother Sean had the sun and the moon in their joys, right? For that last one that I yielded, because the sun had to been in the 9th and the moon was in the 3rd, right? And you did that, Brother Sean. So that's pretty, right? You had them luminaries in their joy. However, right here, shout out to everyone that's got, you know, a moon in the 5th house, no matter what sign it's in, right? That means you could be one who possibly, you know, could be one who may do something with as far as a lot of children, maybe having a lot of children, being one that's nurturing to a lot of children, maybe teaching a lot of children, so to speak, in all positive and upright fashion, so to speak. Moon's ruling the ascendant here too at about 22 degrees. Interestingly, so I think Venus is just coming off of 22 degrees Cancer, right? So 22 degrees, 20 minutes, guys, what you can really see yourself doing here. And now, and still, like I said, as far as signs are concerned, the moon's 6 signs away from, where it's comfortable, right? From Cancer. However, being in the 5th house, what we can actually see here is a means for us to probably pay attention to children's health, probably really allow your child to really know how to care for themselves, being there for them so that they will have the means necessary to look after themselves. Maybe you're showing the child how to cook. Maybe you're showing the child how to properly tie their shoe. Maybe you're showing the child the importance of washing face and brushing teeth. Maybe you're also showing a child when they, get injured or something, to not cry much, or really, take a little small cut as if it's a huge, oh, they're bleeding to death kind of situation. So you can really take this time to really shine some light on how to, nurture a conversation, so to speak, by maybe showing some pictures, actually, and going over some things. Maybe it's a video you can find online to be able to effectively communicate, the sudden changes necessary so a child can really build their confidence here. All right. So make sure you're being very nurturing and helping children, or maybe if it's not your children, someone else's children, by the sun being there in the 11th house. 11th house does deal with other people's children, as well as pouring out knowledge and sharing things and really knowing the values to your standing in society, right? So the 11th house is second to the 10th. So that would be the values to, to status. And 5th house, of course, being the house pertaining to creativity. It's one of the relationship houses because it pertains to sex, because that's where children comes from, right? So maybe you can really probably also allow yourself to have the birds and the bees conversation, as they call it, correct? So maybe that'll be something else so that people will be now facilitating a means for children to make wise decisions so that they don't, do things necessarily out of fear, however, out of proper education, to be able to give the fullness of, okay, well, if you did this, it would bring a child, and then you have this child, this and this and this, and these things would have to happen like that. So maybe this is also a means for you to travel somewhere where you can take children to go and take care of babies to help facilitate them making a decision to maybe, hold off on, certain activities. You could be having, 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old children right now that are seeking to express themselves sexually. So what you can do is put a halt to that by having them do some of the activities that happen after sex, like knowing how to take care of a child, changing the diaper, making sure every time the child, wakes up, cries or whatever, hey, this is what's got to happen. This is what you got to do here to help better, facilitate a means to have them, because there's nothing wrong with increasing family. However, you want to make sure someone is psychologically there and make sure the subconscious mind is fit to be able to handle that ability to respond effectively, because that's what response ability is. You have the proper ability within to make the effective response for that situation. There's nothing wrong with being a mother or a father. Just, make sure there's a practice in doing so by facilitating a means for, those children to take care of some baby, whether the baby is in the family, maybe they're going somewhere to help, at an orphanage. We don't promote, orphanages, or just whatever, situation where there are children that need to be cared for other than themselves, so that they can really just comprehend the mindset that it goes to it. If it's not used as a deterrent, then it will be used as a motivating factor for them to know what type of mindset they need to have in order to take on that step in increasing loved ones. All right. And that is for the Akhabad, Turkmenistan. And that's happening at 0800 hours, 41 minutes, and 44 seconds on the 4th of June, 2023. Onward to the 6th house and 12th house. This would be right after sunrise, of course, with the sun in the 12th house. The moon will be in the 6th, so it's right after moon set. It's taking place at 0600 hours, 41 minutes, 44 seconds, and it's near the Leucosia Cyprus for the 4th of January, 2023. All right. Mercury, well past its Mercury retrograde shadows, so things are moving forward. However, between Jupiter and Uranus, very, very interesting. However, culminating to being conjunct with Uranus, I would say that Mercury is now taking expanded communications and bringing it to the group so that what can be communicated is a means for a sudden change to give rise, all righty, give rise, all righty, to some things that can be creatively done in isolating oneself and helping others, knowing how to help others, right? So it's interesting too, because the ascendant is at 29 degrees Gemini, which is the degree of acting, imitation and acting, which is where the sun is in Gemini. So Gemini has 2 imitation and acting degrees, obviously 13 degrees and 29 degrees, right? And with Mercury there, 19 degrees, 33 minutes Taurus, right? Look at that, 1933, right? So what can actually be done here is ones really allow themselves to, don't be fake. However, maybe you can adopt certain, activities and practices to allow yourself to get used to doing them before they become, second nature in your movements and endeavors and things that you do. So make sure you're allowing yourself to really shine a light on how you're isolating yourself, being very prudent in, how you are with your actual loved one also, right? Because Juno is, Jupiter's wife, so to speak, as they say, right? Jupiter's beloved mother, mistress, consort is Juno, right? Or, Jupiter is known as Zeus. Juno is Hera. Depends on which, if you're speaking, if you're speaking Roman, it's Jupiter and Juno. Speaking Greek, it's Zeus and Hera. So with that being said, there's a huge light being shined there. So maybe you're a mother who is, the beloved mother, mistress, consort of someone, some son who is very expansive. Maybe he's a great teacher. Maybe he teaches online and things of that nature. What you'll be able to see as you, take on some things that may not be your actual practices right now, you begin to act these things and take them on. So you can probably start a 21-day act. So eventually that 21-day act becomes habit. And what you'll actually see, what happens, you'll find yourself being a really fortunate and nurturing service to the people, to the point where you might actually think to either start a daycare or some type of charity event for other people's children. All righty. And because what you can actually see is that you bring some value to really being able to help the psychology of other people's children due to you putting your shoes for a bit in your beloved sun master consorts, putting your feet, so to speak, or being in the shoes pertaining to your beloved sun master consort. And that's very noble of you, whichever mother I'm speaking to, or mothers that I'm speaking to out there. However, imitation and acting will definitely be the conduit through which you'll be able to eventually see and develop how you'll be able to do a much more altruistic and humanitarian service, all right, to others by helping to develop their children's psychology. And with that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother and whom we're well pleased, Brother Braveheart al-Islam.
Islam, I wouldn't be surprised to see like moms be a thing or some things pop up for that. So moving on, right? For this full moon, as we are now at the Sagittarius zone, would you look at that at 4:41:44? So I think that was earlier. Was it 1:44? Which looky, right? So yeah, maybe beings are seeing a lot of reflections, right? They might see 256 and might see 652. So just we're seeing reflection of numbers. It's occurring on the Sunday, the soul day, right? And we are near Miami, Niger. All right, so this is Niger. I don't know why I said Niger.
It's all good. Potato.
Potato, or late.
I
Right.
Right? Either one. You know what I mean? It's all good, bro.
Indeed. We got Luna in the 7th now. We have Sol in the 1st. So yeah, we got Luna in the 7th. So this is maybe right when it comes to one's partner, right? Maybe the mother here is being the guru of some sort, right? Where's Jupiter at? Jupiter's in the 12th house, right?
Indeed.
Ruling over Luna. So yeah, maybe mother's being the guru or the one, who can really expand upon things with her wisdom, right? Listening to that intuition that she has. And the sun being in the 1st, that could be, the sun master, right? And is able to really, not be so one-sided or stuck in their way. It's like, well, this is what I think, or this is what I do, and it has to be that way. No, right? They're able to now, embrace more of that feminine side and listen. Whether it's their consort or their mother, or maybe even getting some gems from their paternal grandfather here. Talking about his, love affairs or his relationship with one's, that whatever he's in, telling about the roots of how he came up and, able to give those gems and wisdom here. And possibly as well, let's see, Mercury is at 19 degrees 33 minutes, which is self-made man, well, we will say self-made mind here. And with Jupiter being at 4 degrees is I think like founder of a sect, seat of law. So we're able to, like I said, let go of everything that beings are shunning, right? As we read in the Holy Quran the past couple cycles ago, praising knowledge and not shunning knowledge, because it'd be that same shame on the knowledge that beings are looking for someone to come save them or fix things, and it's not like that. So Yi is able to let go of those things that no longer serve them. And I know Brother Jag, I think that was for today, was talking about constitution and jurisprudence, really getting back into government, home government. Mothers realizing that nobody gets here to earth but through them, so that the womb is the first school. So putting that energy and time into loving their little ones while they're with them, speaking words of kindness, teaching them while they're in the womb, so that when they manifest them, what they would say is birth, they're not trying to do things and questioning why. And it's like, why is he like this, right? Well, what were you doing during your pregnancy? Back to that fashion. And Mercury and Uranus is about to have that conjunction. So yeah, let's see, ascendant at 16 degrees Taurus. And that's painting. So yeah, able to make impression on those and organizations, whether it's arts, those are in so-called government, or philosophy, law, and religion. Able to to communicate those eccentric and revolutionary thoughts that they can see for a long term here. That they can pitch or let others know that they know what it is and they know that the jig is up. Here with that fashion. Yeah, Venus ruling over that ascendant from the 3rd. So yeah, there is some service here going on, not only to oneself but to others. Because and I'll yield after I say this is quoting CMA, freedom is everybody's job. So let go of thinking that everyone else is going to save you and that someone else is supposed to do all the things for you. And even though we know that the government derives their just powers from the consent of the governed, the so-called governed still have to know that they can reform and abolish so said government at any time. They just have to know that they have that power. And for those that, didn't consent to be governed and are civilized, they would say, and don't need no one else to rule over them, they can assist and teach others, just as we have been a 7 Hill Star and Lawful Living and other honorable platforms, not telling you to be American Indians or Pan-Africans or whatever else term that they come up with to keep robbing the people. So, get it together. And with that, I yield the floor with the Sagittarius zone. Now we're moving into the Scorpio zone.
Shout out to Brother Dark Blash Day, says Islam, everyone. Mother Sahar says peaceful greetings to everyone. She also says, count me in for the hanging. Like she says she'll be there, right?
Yeah.
Those people get hung, you know what I mean? She says, get that scimitar. Indeed, Mother Sahar. Mother Janelle Blash House says, Islam, everyone. Mother Sahar says, Islam. The count that says the Moor says, Islam Moors, Islam to you. JLV says, peaceful moon day greetings, everyone. Indeed, and Mary says, so mote it be, right? When we say these people need to, be held accountable. However, also, because I know too, and my question is, as soon as we finish this up, we'll probably be coming in a little late, however, but I know Malika is probably finishing up her May marathon, actually, right? So I guess we'll check that out, see if Malika's in there. JL says, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Brother 7, Judah Balal L says Islam, and Spartacus is on too, man. What's up, broski doski?
Islam, bro.
Baby bro. He says, I'm in, bro. Indeed. I know I got to link up with Spartacus after this anyway. So with that being said, here we go again. And I yield the floor to Brother Sean Lee Mel, Islam.
Right, so we are now here near Dakla, Morocco. Right, we got Luna in the 8th. We've got Sol and I said 8th, yeah. Luna in the 8th, Sol in the 2nd house. Right, Aries on the rise here. So 2nd, 8th house is values and joint ventures. Right, so maybe there's a lot of joy coming to the family. Right, after kind of a lot of releasing, maybe some bad blood or, just past arguments or, what is that? Not bad blood. Holding on to things, that might have happened in the past, so that now everyone can embrace that. So maybe someone has to speak up and say that or be the mediator, right? Luna's mother, Sun and Gemini deals with siblings. So maybe a sibling stepping up or the siblings assisting mother and father, right? Maybe there's something going on with wills and legacy here that's a quarrel over, right? Yeah, maybe taking a short travel for some inspiration. If one's, does music, write, create art, teach, taking a short travel just to relax one's minds, refresh, recharge, connect back to nature, which is only connecting back to self, right? And yeah, finding some self-worth here, letting go of any inner child wounds, projections, father wounds in that fashion. Able to really heal that and start looking deeper than just surface, right? 28 degrees Aries is the power to realize a lofty ideal, right? So Mars ruling that ascendant from the 4th house. And also, wow, look at that. Scorpio is actually intercepted in that 7th house axis. Right. So we're looking at Mars and Venus here, right? And they're both in the 4th house. Would you lucky Astro cookie. So with Mars and Venus being in that 8th house, Venus is conjunct Eros. Yeah, folks are gonna realize that love conquers all. What's that from Dave Chappelle? If you have hate in your heart, let it out. So yeah, letting that hate out, because what does hating serve? It only fuels everything that is the lower self, and the higher self is the love and virtues. So with Mars being right there, and the 4th, what is 8 degrees Leo? Is a critical degree, anemia and hearing. So really listen to that small, still voice within you. And Venus there let intake the beauty, intake the harmony. If there is no harmony in one's home, right, create that, but don't really be in such a fascination of denial to really get back. Just know that the universe will take care of everything, right? Realizing that power that he has, that, hey, I don't even have to fight, argue, yell. I can say my piece and let the universe take care of that without having to lower one's vibration or stoop to others' levels who might do the low blow kind of thing, or who are, doing the projections or the anxiety in that fashion. And let Mars, let your heart be ever the guiding drive for you. Yep. Yeah, so there's a sense of commitment coming too, to really embrace those, transformative breakthrough thoughts that one of might have been working on any projects. So, yeah, been able to see that fruit. And with that, I yield the floor. And I'll do my final one as we go to the Libra zone. We in the Libra zone. All right, we've got.
Hey!
All right, we got Luna in the ninth, we got Sun in the third house, and we are traveling near El Dorado, Argentina for you guys, right? So, yeah, maybe for this near this area, or just Pisces, tropical Pisces risings. There's gonna be a sense of wanting to create art of some sort. Or maybe someone's going to like take their art and paint like their inner childhood, or just, really express the inner workings of their mind, right? And they're able to now become into more of a sense with their siblings here, maybe getting back into the foundation. Like Luna's in the ninth, that's about higher learning and long distance travel. Sun's in the third, right? And that's just short travels. So maybe someone's taking a short trip somewhere, or maybe everyone's gathering together for a long trip. Going to different things like universities and museums, like really just connecting to things that is not usual, or they might have rejected, but it's like after the fact, it's like, hey, I did not want to go, but now that we went and we did that, I had a great time and I'm glad I really came, right? And some could be traveling for work or for their career here, maybe having to take a long distance trip, to handle some meetings, or maybe even their, Job is sending them kind of like on a vacation of some sort, just to, get a rest and recharge. And finally, this is communication one's partner. If one's in that, being able to communicate the necessary essentials, and to also be emotionally nurturing, right? Taking the lessons that Prophet Noble Drew has given, taking the lessons that one has learned from the holy books, and really be able to be that guru, that emotional nurturing guru, to communicate the things to one's partner, or maybe even their local community, right? Being able to kind of take a step back outside of themselves and really see what the community needs. And that's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, first and foremost, but also the proper higher learning, the principles and the nurturing that folks need, right? Not coming off harsh and cold, but at the same time being truthful and stern, to give them the education, the things that they need, that they have not got, but they have been under illusion of that they have got. Jupiter's ruling a chart from the second house, right? Ruling over the first and the 10th from the second. So there's an expansion of the values and self-identity, so that one can find inspiration to the things that they see fit or motivated to bring for the long term, and just being optimistic about everything, optimistic about breathing, optimistic about walking, and not letting the worthless baubles of the day bring one's vibration and energy down. And with that, I will yield the floor. Oh, we don't want new chart.
Moving on to that Virgo zone. All righty, y'all. Full moon for the Virgo zone. This is taking place 3rd June 2023 for Freetown, Bahamas, right? For the Bahamas. This is happening at 2300 hours, 41 minutes, and 44 seconds, or 11:41:44 post meridian Eastern, right? All righty, guys. So we see that this is taking place where the moon now is in the 10th instead of the sun in the 10th, right? And we see that taking place, right? Baby, I turned it down to low. So we see that taking place, guys, where now the sun is in the 4th and the moon is in the 10th, right? So with that being said, guys, here we can really allow ourselves to really have a mindset that's geared towards point out some information that's very viable and necessary. You might want to pay attention to the process which mother chose, right? Which is called father. You might want to pay attention to the fathering energy, all right, pertaining to your household, or maybe it's someone that you grew up with that is the fathering energy, because I think they're going to have, even if they've been like foreign to your life, they may actually have something that's very nurturing for you to make a better stance within yourself, especially if you're older now. You're not used to seeing your father when you were younger, but now as you're older, you're seeing how much you actually need your father in your life to be able to make the sudden changes palatable within your own life, because you're going through some excessive changes here. Those of you that are under the Virgo zone, that's mainly most of the East Coast and maybe some of the Midwest towards the East Coast. Alrighty, so that's even for, you know, here in North America, or you look at it, all of the Americas, right? That all fit within what's termed the Eastern time zone, right? With Saturn and Uranus co-ruling the ascendant, very interesting here. You'll find yourself probably going through a little bit of delay in comprehending some things. And that delay is really based on the fact that now you need to probably speak with someone who is more of a fathering kind of energy, or they may be a foreign to you. Maybe it's your stepfather. And you realize that your stepfather has some information for you due to him having to, you know, go through different relationships, or maybe even contracting in different ways, that now his painful experiences in his life can now, you know, that mess that he went through can now be a message for you, so that you can be able to, you know, take and give rise to the sudden changes that are transforming yourself. You may find yourself being isolated. However, within this isolation, you can see that it's really a spiritual moment for you, to the point where you can now, you know, you can now sit back and see, you know, I need to slow down. I need to breathe. Really think out how I'm going to move forward with this information that's poured out to me, because now I'm being asked to take on some type of responsibility. And it seems like the only one that can help me is someone who has a paternal energy that I may not have favored when I was younger. This may be what you're saying to yourself out there. With the sun in the 4th, it will show that what your mother may communicate to you is that where she actually suggests, hey, you might not had such a great time growing up with so and so and so and so. However, ask him, because I'm sure he'll be able to help you. And what you'll see and what you'll actually find out, with that being said, your mother is really from the 4th ruling over the 7th, the means to be able to relate to maybe that said stepfather, possibly with the moon and Sag in the 10th house being ruled by that Mars in the 7th house under the sun's dispositorship, because the medium coeli, or the medium celli, right, is being ruled by Mars in the 7th under the sun's dispositorship. Very interestingly, too, the sun is under Venus's dispositorship. Let's look at that real quick. All right. And Venus, of course, being in Cancer while under the moon's dispositorship, brings it back to, it's just this thing going on with Venus, moon, sun, and Mars. All righty. So with that being said, and then Saturn and Uranus, right? Uranus is in Taurus while Saturn is in Pisces. What you'll find is you'll be bringing some spiritual values into things you'll have to do for yourself, so that you can, you know, mitigate what feels like a slowing down or a delay. Because what you're going to have to do is find the value in being of service to others in order to really get ahead where you want to be. And it's really going to help when you really speak to either your father who hasn't been there in your life or the stepfather that you grew up with that you kind of always thought was odd or weird in some kind of way. And weird is not a bad word. Let's just put that out. I know colloquially speaking, or connotatively, weirdo is someone who is like, they're just odd. However, etymologically, weird means to be in control of one's fate. So maybe seeing someone who is in control of their fate, however, outside of what you may actually see as being normal, quote unquote, or something that you may comprehend immediately, speaking to that being, because you may be someone, for example, your mom is copper toned, or olive shade sentient being. And however, your stepfather might actually be a pale skinned son. And what you'll find is now, even though you kind of grew up with having to deal with this pale skinned stepfather, you'll actually realize he has a lot of wisdom to shed so that you can be very active in moving forward in your life in something where you feel almost like a midlife crisis or you feel some kind of delay for yourself. So allow that communication to shine a light on a nurturing energy who is apparently foreign, however, will turn out to be the answer or have the answers that you need to move forward. And with that, I yield the floor. We're going to move on to the Leo zone. We're in the Leo zone, right? So with that being said, and moving forward in the Leo zone, the moon's going to be in the 11th house this time. Moon's going to be in the 11th, and Sun's going to be in the 5th. Sun's having accidental dignity. Looky. Accidental dignity in the 5th. However, still sextile from the sign where it's domiciled. So it's still in the sign 11th from where it's feeling great. However, 19 degrees Leo, which is the 8th house. So this is some chiropractic, energy here, right? So you may be someone who's dealing with some nerve pain somewhere in the body, those of you that are near the Leo zone. So this is Abilene, Texas, right? Abilene Corporation, Texas State Republic. And what you may have to actually deal with here is really allow yourself to find some value in going to a chiropractor. That chiropractor may be, you walk to his office, you may not agree with his spiritual background, so to speak. However, what you'll see is he will be able to transform the infrastructure pertaining to your bones, because interestingly, what deals with the knees and skeleton is Saturn, especially when we're speaking in reference to Capricorn, which is actually on the ascendant. However, the sun in the 5th house with accidental dignity is ruling over the 8th at 19 degrees Leo exactly, which is the degree pertaining to the back. All right. So what you may have to allow yourself to do with the moon in the 11th here, right, is go out on a whim and maybe deal with this foreign chiropractor that will actually have you feeling much greater, because you're going to probably see that you're going to have to take a chance, seemingly a chance, to get the relief that you're having. Because I think those of you out there, you're having some nerve pain in one part of your body due to subluxation. Subluxation is minor dislocation pertaining to the vertebrae. Subluxation, SUBLUXATION. So when the planets move and they do their transits, sometimes the spine goes through minor subluxations, which is minor dislocations pertaining to the vertebra within the entire vertebrae or vertebrae, right? And what you'll actually see here is you could probably, maybe it's not just you, maybe it's actually a child who may need some chiropractic work. So you may be looking at either children's chiropractic work, or the chiropractor that you are seeking is much younger than you. And probably, you notice because of maybe what's in their office, they have a different quote unquote spiritual practice than you do. However, their know-how pertaining to the spine and in relieving the pain that you're feeling is really, really spot on, to the point where you don't even care what their spiritual exercise is. You're really enjoying and valuing that they are able to relieve you of whatever pain it is. So say you're someone that's dealing with macular degeneration. Maybe you need the atlas place or axis place adjusted at the top of the vertebrae so that you can get rid of those dark spots in the eyes. Say you're dealing with sciatica. You think that you're someone that may have to go under the knife for prostate cancer. That's a fourth and fifth lumbar adjustment. All right. Maybe you're someone that needs your hips and legs adjusted. All righty. So don't be afraid to go and speak to some chiropractor who will get your sacral chakra and coccyx in order. All right. And with that, I yield the floor as we're going into now the Cancer Zone. All right. Going into this Cancer Zone now, guys. And before we yield, those that had spoken up since I said Spartacus said he's in. JLV says no Monday class today. Thank you, JLV. Appreciate you. Spartacus says peaceful greetings. Open 642 says greetings. And Tyro Bay says peace and love, everyone. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Sun is ruling the ninth house here from the sixth. Looky, Astro Cookie. Homeschooling is in order, right? So you may have to make your backyard the adventurous place so that you can be able to make some things that are apparently foreign, alrighty, apparently foreign to be something that's actively communicated within the child's life so that they can be able to value the sudden changes that's being communicated so that they too can be, those that have green thumbs or green hands, right? With the sun there ruling the ninth house and the moon on its moon rise, and this is after sunset for the Cancer Zone, right? Mara, French Polynesia, happening at about 1700 hours 41 minutes 44 seconds, or 5:41:44, right? Post meridian. So moon is ruling the eighth. Look at that. All right, Jupiter is ruling the ascendant here. So I think we can creatively expound upon some values that will allow us to find some nurturing, in handing down some skill sets to our little ones, right? And guys, it's no problem when you're doing the homeschooling thing, really allowing yourself to make the gardening a part of the curriculum, because that's under food security as far as subjects, right? Food security for the main part, and then also knowing how to allow yourself to really just have other things that help. You got food security is one thing. Maybe you need to keep pests away. So you're planting marigolds and thyme and rosemary and things of that nature to keep pests away while you're really allowing your tomatoes and lettuce and kale to grow, so to speak, right? So here, what I can say is it'll be very important to really reflect upon how you can really isolate the lessons, all righty, and be of service to that little one so that you can communicate some higher education for them so that they can be able to be very confident in inheriting your skill sets and actively having a means to, have that food security that's necessary, because they may be called upon soon enough. They may be called upon to help others with their garden. So be not afraid to make sure that you have that as part of the curriculum for your homeschooling for those of you that are out there within the Cancer Zone. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother in whom I am well pleased, Brother Sean Alim El Islam.
Islam. I can spotlight you, bring it back.
Yes. Spotlight,
There we
bro.
go. I don't even see it. Multi-pan.
Going to participants. When you go to participants,
Oh,
right?
it's that one. Okay, gotcha. More.
They add spotlight. All right.
Putting weight room and co-host pin. Why is it not showing that?
Yeah, really? Let's see. I got you. Let's see.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Boom shagalaga. And let's do with this. Boom. Oh, really? Let's see. Let's remove spotlights. I think I removed the did them. Well, see, it's only two of us now. The reason why there was a spotlight earlier and now it's only two of us is because we had Exalted Cyclops. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it seems like to be there no spotlight for when it's just two of us. When it's three or more of us, then you can spotlight. So it's no worries. I think my internet very briefly was like, no, I don't want to be internet right now. And so it had a moment. So I went out and came back in while you were going in, I think on the Sagittarius zone, honestly. However, I can see both of us now or whatever, now that I reclaimed host or whatever. I see on the YouTube now it's both of us actually. However, and that is all to the gizzard. However, let me still give you the host there, bro. And guys, I'd like to thank you for joining us, actually, right? Make sure you're doing your studies, guys, both astrologically and pertaining to civics. Make sure you know the only reason that we're going over these civics is because we need to be clear on who we are, all right? You Moorish Americans out there, be clear on who you are. And if you're not Moorish American, remember, within the Islamic code, we don't deal with citizenship here at Morocco. If you're not Moorish American, then you're a subject of Morocco, which means you're being cared for, you're being taken care of. Moors have never been, barbaric as people try to put that message out there. That's not what that actually is. It's because somebody else calls you and your family bitch for so many 100 years. You don't go around talking about, yes, we're bitch Americans. You don't do that. All righty. And then you got to be clear on making sure you're not offended by being called a female dog. If bitch is a female dog, then you got to be clear and showing, well, I'm a sentient being. I'm not walking on all fours. I don't get excited and wag my tail when I'm excited. You know what I mean? You can't tell how I'm feeling with my ears either going up or going back. That's not who I am. So just because, there are another people that want to call another people something and it gets documented and being propagated amongst a whole bunch of other beings doesn't mean that it's right. You know what I'm saying? It just means that somebody was really good at pushing propaganda. All righty. That's really what that is. However, what you'll recognize upon actual and sincere study, right? Which we know what it is that we talk about. It's not quote unquote popular. However, if it's wrong, man, we're always looking for someone to actually bring some, competent evidence, which that doesn't happen. It's not ever going to happen because what people do upon, researching what it is that we're talking about to go prove it wrong, they run into hiccups. And then again, if you're not really sincerely having Prophet Noble Drew Ali at the forefront of your mind, even if you're a subject of Morocco, right? And under our protection. However, you still make sure you have Prophet Noble Drew Ali at the forefront of your mind. If you have Prophet Noble Drew Ali at the forefront of your mind, you're good. However, you're someone who doesn't, you think you're Negro, Black, colored, African American, American Indian, all the other stupidity titles that you give yourself to just show that you don't belong living on this planet. You don't belong here because you don't want to be in harmony with nature. So if you don't want to be in harmony with nature out of your arrogance, then, you can go kill yourself. You might, because you're already doing it in word, which means you're doing it in thought. Then you're doing it in word. So the action has to follow now for you to be completely out of harmony with nature, right? Because you want to sit there and see how you can fit in your fiction. We don't fit in fictions on Earth. That's not what happens here. And you can't sit here and be like, well, Moorish American is fiction too. Why are there so many congressional records going back hundreds and hundreds of years pertaining to the Moorish Empire? Why? We already know that Negro, Black, colored, African American stuff, American Indian stuff is for those that have been conquered. And all you're doing in perpetuating that is showing that you're conquered in your mind. As like, there's no Black people, there's no white people either. All right. So, Albion's sons and daughters, be not offended. Right. Those that are Moors, that are Moorish American, right, that are descendants of Moroccans may manifest here on this land, contemporarily called America, but anciently known being a Mexum. That's where you get old Mech from, old Mexum, old Mech. All righty. So those of us that are Moorish American, our status is white. That's what our status is. All righty. And a lot of times people try to look up, well, see right here, free white persons in Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, according to the Naturalization Act of 14th July, 1870. And that means y'all, free white persons. But look, at the end of the day, it does not mean Caucasian race. And again, that's according to the Naturalization Act. So that's just to say, hey, if beings are trying to use their administration against us, they can't. Because free white means don't fuck with them. But then that means our Albion sons and daughters, falsely termed Caucasian, even though it says does not mean Caucasian race and free white persons, their status is black, unless they're being protected under the Moorish Empire, period. And that's why this information comes out to you guys the way it is. And this is why sincere Moorish Americans are to do their part in assisting Prophet Noble Drew Ali to help him in his mission to bring our people back to the constitutional fold of government. And you can help Prophet Noble Drew Ali just because you don't see him right now walking the planet or anything like that. Don't think we're sitting here on some dogma, imaginary belief, imaginary friend type stuff. No, we comprehend metaphysics and comprehend how energy moves. All righty. So it's nothing for you guys to really be a part of this, and make sure you have exactly what it is that you need so you can have a better experience here on Midgard, Earth Plane, Asha. All right. Gratitude to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Correct. Open 642. Indeed. Supreme honors. Right. Supreme honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Brother Sean, any other questions, comments, and or suggestions? My beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased.
Nope. Love yourself. Read a book. Donate. Get your sessions. That's kind of about it. And just keep studying. Keep healing. Keep loving. That's really kind of about it.
Not only don't say this, guys, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here. Make sure you go to 7healstar.com, subscribe there also so you can receive the email on Thursday. I guess this is the part where I'm supposed to say, since we run a YouTube channel for 3 years, hit like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, right? And if you do find in your heart you would like to donate, because we do say be yourselves and donate, you will see in the description there is a Cash App. All righty, you guys can donate to the Cash App for our Astrology Street. All righty. You can do that there. I know normally we don't mention it, but I figured, hey, let me mention it. I know I do it every few months or so. However, I know you guys know if you hear something, see something that you know is helpful to you, is assisting you, and you have the means to do it, you'll do it out of your heart and not out of feeling like somebody's doing finger wagging religion and making you feel guilty about it. All right. So
yeah, and share us out, the Instagram, 720 Astro Healing, 7 Hillstar Astrology Street. Share our posts with your loved ones, share it with your friends, share it within your groups. Even if you don't agree or whatever, just share it out. It's important that we get the message out. We do this every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And as quick as you can share another post, you can share our post. Stop overlooking our posts and share it out. We do this because we honor Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We understood what he brought, and we know that this is what's needed and that this is the only sole foundation. So, all that complaining about voting and all that, stop it. Share this out, share it with your loved ones, your colleagues, and everyone else. And that's about it, and get your astrology. Like I said, we do this because we know what's needed. You might know what's needed, and we have a lot of things that we can do, but we have a protocol that's unmatched, and we are ready. We just need the people to realize that, hey, I need to take myself serious and get this astrology and not think it's all about toxic and, all the other, which, it's good for laughing giggles, right? But on a serious note, to really assist yourself and your loved ones and your children so that folks don't have to question, why is he like this and why he's doing that? When, you could have got that astrology, got the mirrors, you got the transits, and the other things that we have to, watch and be prepared so that one doesn't have to get prepared, right? The 5 Ps, or not waiting till the point of a sword to want to act, we're not just saying this to sell you anything. We wholeheartedly and sincerely know what is needed and give this to you. I yield.
It's fun. And shout out to the Moor says, great presentation, Moor. Mother Sahar says, gratitude to Brother Hassan and Brother Sean. Peace and love to all. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, thank you, brothers. Much gratitude. And guys, make sure you get your CMOS from Brother Corey Bay, the Exalted Cyclops. It's called One Heart Supplements on Instagram. I mean, it's really the best CMOS that I've ever come across, besides Senior Jackson Bay, who does the actual, the delivery showing up to you. You know what I mean? Near the Baltimore Corporation. Brother Corey CMOS is in stores up and down the Eastern Seaboard, if not, coming across out there, technically across to like the Midwest and near California, also like the West Coast. So, make sure you order that from One Heart Supplements. If you don't want to go to Instagram and try to find us individually, when you go to 7healstar.com, go to our About Us page. We have purple links that you can have, purple buttons that you can click where you can get in contact with us via DM. And you already know, if you go to the DM, you can always view our profile on Instagram, right? However, you want to get your CMOS from Brother Corey Bay, you will not be disappointed, because I know he's processing the raw CMOS himself. All righty. So with that being said, guys, this is where I and Brother Sean Ali Mel says thank you all for joining us on behalf of Brother Corey Bay, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, Brother R. Muaba Bay, Brother Sean Ali Mel, and I, Brother Hassan Ghazi Bay. This is where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam.
Islam, yeah.
Peace and love.